Aloha or Hiya, whatever. Hey everybody, it's me, Carl. It's time for Tony and Carl Talk Shit. That's right. Once again, here we go. Time to invite some folks over to watch the show. Let's see. Let's see who we got today. We're going to invite everybody that we can here. Tim, Lo, Valerie, Leisha, Ethan, Glacia, Denise, Phil, Jerome, Aaron Siegel, Morgan, Steve, Warcliffe Moore, Derek, Kayla, Brian, Carter. Hey everybody, for just joining us. We're just getting started here. We're going to go ahead and invite Tony over. Get on your little phone doohickey there and invite some people to watch, man. Share the video right now and say, hey, come watch these two knuckleheads talk about crazy crap. It's not a bad plan. Let's see here. We get, invite here, why not? Yeah, sure. Lois, Ryan, Bird, Joe Pettit, good idea. Howdy, hi there, folks. So, let me get Tony in here. Hang on. Alright. We're going to get back to inviting folks here in just a minute. So, hang on. Let me see if I can't get Tony Baloney in here. No, that son of a bitch isn't on yet. Anyway, hey everybody. It's me, Carl. Silly hat for the week. Hope you enjoyed that. So, Denise knows, and other people know. So, he's trying to protect himself. That's an interesting topic, actually. I'm not going to mention him or my other friend by names, but two of my friends who I would love to have on here to chat can't really get on here to chat with us because they work for companies, large companies that want to maintain a certain image, and you have to maintain a certain anonymity and a certain not anonymity is the word I look for, but a certain I can't think of the word. I'm having a brain fart. Neutrality. There we go. Neutrality. There we go. So yeah, they can't get on here because they might voice some strong opinions or some vulgar things or some less than admirable opinions, comments, or other things, and they don't want to get in trouble with their job. So I don't blame them, man. But it sucks that we live in a society where you can't express those things on social media. But at the same time, if people find it now, they're going to hold it against you. Me and one of my buddies was talking earlier, and he was talking about. I was talking about how but Goodwill is a little bit different than these guys. They're much higher up in, like, if the I should have thought about that, Brian. Sorry. Didn't think about that at the last second. Look, if whoever the CEO of Goodwill is, if he got online, and let's not even say CEO, let's say the head of accounting for the Goodwill got online, started talking about, I don't know, he likes women with big booties and he thinks flat-chested chicks are weird. Let's say he would be out of a job. I mean, people would say, he needs to go, he's a sexist, he's a misogynist. And so those guys, I don't blame them, man. They worked hard to get to where they are, and I don't want to knock them down. So I'm not going to dog them for that. But it's like I said, it sucks that sort of thing. We Um, I was thinking the other day about how we're overexposed to things. And remember when we were kids, most of us, when we were kids, look, there were certain things we just didn't know about. And honestly, we didn't care about, to be honest. But there are certain, we knew that there were things that our parents were keeping to themselves, and that, because they would, like, stop that. Don't talk about that in front of the kids. You can't do that. You're still, mom and dad start trying to get a little frisky with mom or whatever. And, mom would be like, stop that. What are you doing? And, maybe you're like that. And, maybe you're like that in front of your kids. But there's a lot of people with a lot of things. I knew people who wouldn't talk politics in front of kids, and they definitely wouldn't. They wouldn't get into deep theological discussions. They wouldn't talk about God or anything like that. Or, well, Denise, that is your opinion, and you are welcome to that. I tend to agree with you that the goodwill kind of sucks, but it is what it is. The Carl Stern Show. Yeah, I don't know if I'm quite on that level. Like I said, I'm working on upgrading this broadcast. It's just I'm trying to figure out a way to do it that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. But technology's not cheap, and hang on, Brian. That's a long comment. Yeah, exactly. We're not all always on our best behavior, but we the one of the downsides to all the social media and the internet is, I kind of wish we could keep a lot of stuff from kids, but here's and everybody. Well, you need to be honest with your kids. No, you don't. You don't need to be honest with your kids. You need to teach your kids to be good people. You need to teach your kids to be decent, honest people. Honesty is Honesty is becoming less and less of a commodity nowadays. You would think with all the exposure and all the ability to out someone who's lying, you would think that honesty would become more present. But in reality, honesty has become less desirable. Dude, I like half the people I know are just talking out their ass, especially Brian, you know this too. People in the entertainment business, they talk and they talk and they talk about all the shit that they can do, that they will do, that they, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's all bullshit. The fake it till you make it mentality it's lying, dude. You're lying. You're full of shit. And you know what? Most of you are going to get caught lying. And you're going to look like assholes. So when somebody calls you a bullshit artist, don't get upset. I don't know what's happening with Tony. I haven't seen a lot from Tony in a couple of days. I wonder where old Tony Baloney's at here. I don't know how to. I got you guys on my phone right now, so I can't. I can't exactly message him, but if anybody can, maybe you should do that. But nonetheless, hey, what's up, Trayvon? But I'll also, like I said, I'm going to try, I'm going to try to improve this broadcast, and we're going to, yeah, nothing is sacred anymore because of social media. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is restricted, and there should be, I think the world was doing itself a favor by keeping a respectable level of separation between adults and kids, and it's good that it breaks down some barriers, but it's bad that it's breaking down other barriers. It's a give and a take thing, and that's true with everything. But I know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Brian. When I was a kid, man, I was like, I can't wait till I'm 18 and I can do this and I can go check out that and I can see this. I can go buy cigarettes and not have to hide it, and I can do all this shit. Then it's, when I turn 21, I can go to the bar and drink, and I don't have to, get my buddy to go buy me beer so I can drink. It was fucking cool, man. But now, dude, kids grow up and like, I know 12 and 13-year-olds. I'm sure some of you guys too do too, and you hear them talking about shit. It's like, dude, how the hell do you even know about that? You shouldn't be knowing. You shouldn't know about that kind of thing. You shouldn't be talking about that. Like, dude, I heard 12-year-olds, 12-year-olds cracking jokes, talking about, 10 and 12-year-olds cracking jokes, talking about getting blumpkins. And if I don't know if all of you know what that is, but it's disgusting, and 12-year-old kids should not be talking about it, especially not in public. I mean, at least like hide it. That's the other thing, is that they're open talking about things that they shouldn't be talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, okay, look, dude, look, kid, look, I started smoking. Hell, I started smoking, drinking, and smoking weed when I was 12. 12. Okay, cool. I get it. Young kids, they get into shit. They do things. They get caught up in things. I understand that. I know, and Brian, I need. Look, if you're going out to shows, Brian, let me know, man. I got my Your Atlanta thing that I'm trying to get going, but I just can't seem to. I got too many irons in the fire. I got too many things going on. Not to mention my brain's a little scrambled up. I'm guessing you know what I'm talking about, Brian. Exactly. I shouldn't be hearing 12-year-old kids talk about this thing. I get upset when my grown-ass adult friends bring it up. Much less listen to a couple of 12-year-old kids talk about it openly in public with their mom like 12 feet away. Not even 12 feet away. Just 2 feet away. She's like, and she just pays the kid no attention. No, he's talking about something. I guess it's a video game. What are, Blumpkins? I don't know what those are. It's like, dude, another thing. How is it that so many people, with all this exposure to the internet, how is it that they're so uncultured? Well, dude, Brian, me and you are going to hook up, and we're going to try to help make this thing, because you got a great personality, and you're camera friendly, and we're going to hook up. We're going to go to some shows. We're going to do some fucking Your Atlanta TV and stuff, and you never know. The thing may take off, and it may do all the things I want it to do, and we could become thousandaires together. But anyway, you're. No, me either, Brian. I'm like, dude, I would. Well, yeah, look, and when I was 12 and 13 years old, and I was throwing out the sexual, I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I probably sounded like an idiot too, but I just went with it, and you know what? No one else knew what they were talking about either. So when I said shit, they were like, yeah, whatever Carl said, I'm sure, yeah, I know all about that, yeah. Carl, I've done that 1,000 times, wouldn't want to embarrass themselves by being the guy who didn't know or the girl who didn't know. You know what? Brian, I have not really listened to much ghosts. I unfortunately, due to my job, DJing, I spend so much time listening to pop, hip hop, techno, rock. I don't play too much of in the clubs anymore. So I don't listen to a ton of rock. So I've only heard maybe one or two ghost songs. So, I mean, they're pretty good, but I haven't heard anything that just made me like, dude, I love these guys. But, I mean, they obviously got theatrics. And, from back in the Witch Doctor days, I love theatrics. I still love Gwar. I love theatrics. So, their showmanship looks pretty good. So I'm going to have to go check that out. November 30th, I'll keep that in mind, Brian. But I'm talking about local shows, too. Because I really want to expose people to local stuff. Because people are lazy. They don't want to get out. Dude, guys, seriously, get out. Just go to the local bar. Find a place. Get online. Try your best to Google it, and find local shows to go to, man. Just go check out Billy Bob's Wild Bunch at Dixie Tavern or Tops, wherever it is you hang out, or I don't know, Blind Willie's. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what little local place is by you. But if there is a local place that has live music, by all means, please say, "Hey, Carl, you should check out this place out near me in Jonesboro or Cartersville or Macon or Coweta County or whatever." Say, "Hey, Carl, there's this great little bar down here. They do live music." Well, Brian, I've always appreciated your taste in music. In fact, you were the one who introduced me to Slipknot, which I thank you very much for. Um, and So yeah, man, we'll get together, Brian. We'll get together and we'll make some plans because, like I said, I'm trying to get all this stuff going. I'm trying to get out of the DJ gig eventually. I can't keep doing this forever. I'm still pretty good at what I do, but getting a little aged. You can't be a 60-year-old guy working in the clubs, man. You just can't do it. I need to get out. So I'm hoping like talk shows and things like that, they're going to be my way out. Voiceover work, which I'm auditioning for right now. Probably got a couple of jobs coming up in the near future, actually. So that should be fun. As soon as I get confirmed for these things, and as long as there's not a non-disclosure, I'll let you know what products and other things that I'll be doing voiceover work for, and you guys can go and check out my ads and my various voiceover work. I'm hoping to get onto like a cartoon or two. That would be really awesome. Maybe, movies would be super extra great, but I'll play the dumb guard in some Disney movie gladly. That'd be awesome. Anyway, I'm getting off onto a side note here. Let's see. But yeah, man, so get out and see some local shows. Um, you're going to sleep, Denise? Really? You're going to go to sleep now? All right, you're tired. Okay, you're gonna take a day off. Man, tomorrow's your day off. Wow, you really are lazy. Oh, Brian, you got a good voice too. If I said once I get my thing going, if like I said, I'm still. uh, you might like Brian, Denise. He's a big giant man. Uh, but nonetheless, where the hell is Tony at, man? I'm going to smack him upside the head. So Tony's not going to be here tonight. So anyone who's interested in coming on to co-host with me, you're more than welcome to. Let me know. Denise, I think I'm actually older than you, so I don't know. Mine? Mine's Shelly. Carl. Carl with a C. Oh, you volunteer Brian to come on chat. If he's up for it, I'm not going to force that on anyone. But anyway, see other things going on. Oh yeah, let me invite you. Just okay, Brian. I'm about to invite you. 1 second. Just for funsies, um, just for funsies, guys. If I was driving down the road the other day and got a little bit of road rage, and I started screaming at this guy, and I was calling him all sorts of names, shit hammer and twat waffle, and you know, cum dumpster. So if you got any good creative insults like twat waffle or shit hammer that you want to put into the chat, um, by all means, and we'll share some of your interesting and creative insults for people. Brian, I'm adding you. Brian.
Hello.
Hey, there he is. There's that big son bitch. Hey, this is Brian. Some of you may know and love him. Yeah, he's sick. He's a big giant dude. Uh, you got to tell the Hooter story where people thought you were the Undertaker.
Oh man, still a terrible story to tell. That drunk bastard thought I was the Undertaker and wanted me to sign his napkin, so I signed it UT. I couldn't officially sign an Undertaker because I wasn't, but he was just something. My son loves you. You just mean so much to us.
When I still had long hair, me and some of the guys were hanging out at me and some of the guys were at a show. We're at the Super Bowl of motocross down at the Georgia Dome back when it first opened, back when it was the brand new Georgia Dome. And they had like VIP tickets. One of their dads worked for like some corporation. Anyway, so we're hanging out in the skybox watching the motocross, and my guitarist Brandon, he goes outside and he's like walking around, and these chicks come up. They start talking to Brandon, and they start saying, "Oh my God, we love you, we love you, we love you." Brandon's like, "Okay," he's not completely unfamiliar with that, but nonetheless, they're like, "Oh my God, we love you guys. You guys are the greatest band." And they're talking to Brandon. I'm saying to him, like, "What are they talking about?" They start going, "I love that song, Jealous," and we're like, "Oh my God, they think we're the fucking Black Crows."
That was coming.
So, so he just leans into it. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm Rich Robinson. This is my brother Chris, man." Uh, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, we had them hang out with us all night. They kissed our ass. It was awful. It was a terrible, terrible lie.
That's fantastic, man.
Unfortunately, there was no hookup. They just they ended up having. Well, we're here meet with you guys later. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll be around and whatever. We told them to meet us at some fictitious bar, and I guess I don't know if they ever went or not. But anyway, it's funny. So anyway, yeah, man, we need to hook up and go check out the shows. I want to get this Your Atlanta thing going because, like I said, I meet so many artists, and not just musicians. Now, I've been meeting a lot of comedians, and let me tell you, man, I have to say I am proudly impressed with my Atlanta comedy scene. There are some funny motherfuckers on the Atlanta comedy scene, man. There's some horrible
And
motherfuckers
that's the
too,
thing
but
about comedians, man. They are absolutely funny. Or you hope they are.
well, dude, there's a lot of guys out there, and these comedians are harsh, man. Ooh, man, if man, now they're polite to one another, but they will. Oh, I know this one guy. He tells a lot of jokes about bandanas, and let me tell you, he's fucking awful. They're rough. They go after each other, and face to face, dude. They give zero fucks. They dog each other so bad. I thought me and my friends were bad. I thought me and Tony were awful. These guys get, I mean, just cold. I'm like, there's going to be a fist fight in a second. But the comedians, they just kind of roll with it, man, because that's their thing. That's what they do. I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, where I come from, that would get you murdered. But okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, I
But
typically I try to keep pretty much clean, especially on public posts like this. I slip up now and again, but man, there's just some things out there that people say, the bravery behind a screen that people
oh my
don't say.
God.
But if you said that in public, I can't imagine the murder death you would you would end up having. So
Well, yeah, it's like I shared a friend of mine put up a post the other day, and I shared it, and a lot of people liked it. Where it's basically it's like social media has taught you people to be disrespectful without the fear of getting punched in the mouth. I'm like, dude, seriously. Back before the internet, you had to say that stuff either to someone in person and hope that the person you were talking about didn't hear it, or you had to have the balls to say it to somebody's face. And if you did, whoo, you never knew what was going to happen. They might, you might punk them out, or they might swing on you and whoop your ass. You didn't know.
yeah,
So
if
you
you're
can't.
interested, man, I've got a great story. I went to the opening of Halloween on Thursday night, 7 o'clock showing, which by the way is a great movie. But I get there and it's somewhat crowded, and I'm sitting in the very back row, and this couple walks up, probably 20 years old, maybe 21, and they sit down, and the girlfriend sits, there's one seat between us, and she sits down and he sits on the other side of her. So the trailers come on and he's on his phone, which is fine. It's the trailers, whatever. It's all good. The movie starts. He's still on his phone. There's a glaring light in my peripheral that I cannot stand at this point. It continues on 3 minutes into the movie. At this point, I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to say something. I don't want to be a jerk, but I got to say something. So I lean over and I say, hey, man, are you going to be on your phone all night? Because if you are, I'm going to move. And he responds with, well, that depends. Are you going to be an asshole all night?
See, now it's on. Now it's
So,
on. It's
so
on.
then I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, he's 20 years old. I'm much older. If I punch him now, I will ruin not only him, but his future children. So I sit there and I'm just like, it just told you 3 times on the screen not to text, not to have your phone on, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, night goes on. I haven't stood up. He hasn't seen me. I haven't done anything to give him any type of, you know,
Clue that he's talking to a giant man.
right? So the movie ends. I totally enjoyed it. I lean over and I say, hey, man, I'm really sorry about the way this night began for the both of us. I hope you enjoyed the movie. And I stood up and stretched as big as I could to make myself larger than I already am. And so finally, he, as I start to walk off, he says, hey, man. And I turn around and he's got his hand out and he says, I'm sorry, man. It was my fault. And I'm like, no doubt. And I shook his hand and I walked off. So I could have taken that road of just being a complete jerk to him all night, but I wasn't. And so, but it came down to the point that he realized that he was wrong. And I think that's the problem with these, with the new generation, is they are so used to talking behind a piece of glass. There is no fear.
Yeah, and another thing is they've also been raised in this environment where you can say completely awful things, and if you apologize, you expect that people are going to forgive you. I'm like, man, look, some things you just can't forgive. I mean, look, man, it's like, yeah, I mean, without getting into a ton of detail, there are a few people in my life who have done a few things that, as much as I love these people, as much as much of a connection as we've had in the past, like, dude, you crossed a line. I can't let you walk back from. And I mean, like this dude, that was a. Hey, man, you know what? I was being a jerk. The fact that you stood up and were 7 foot tall and stretching like a monster, looking like Godzilla, he probably was like, yeah, I better apologize in case he gets froggy in the parking lot.
I
But,
realized,
but
man, this guy really could have done something, but instead, because I'm not a violent man. I've never been a violent man.
no,
Always been
no,
kind and generous and fun to be around. And it was just, and even it was the fact that he immediately went to name calling instead of just trying to diffuse a situation and saying, "Oh, you're right. You know what? I shouldn't have been on my phone with my blaring light in your eyes on a $13 film that you paid for to be here tonight." So I
yeah,
think he realized
yeah.
that, and it's
And
just
not
one
to
of,
mention,
it just keeps reinstating to me that I need to continue on my movie watching binges at theaters, that I need to wait 3 weeks after it's been released so I can go and enjoy it by myself when nobody else is there at 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Back.
that's what I like. I hate going to opening weekends because all the jackasses are there, and you never know what level of jackass you're going to be dealing with.
Right.
And that's sad. It's like I was telling me and my girlfriend were talking earlier today, and I have become, oddly enough, I I I my job is being public. My entire job is being public. I go out, I talk to people, I get online, I talk to people. But you know me, Brian. I'm actually a really reserved, quiet, shy kind of guy. I keep to myself. I like to be funny and goof around, but you know, but but generally I'm a reserved guy. And dude, like when I'm not at work, when I'm not on here goofing off, dude, I'm a recluse, man. I'm like a ninja, man. People don't even know I exist. People at work are baffled by me because everybody there is always like, "Hey, dude, let's go hang out. We're gonna go." I don't know what the hell they do. They go do stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, you should come hang out." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." And they're like, "How do you never hang out, man?" I'm like, dude, you people have too much drama in your lives, and you invite it in, and I don't want to be a part of that. I'm like, so I'm much happier just hiding out. I don't like people. Dude, I don't even like today we were at Walmart, man, and I was about to lose my mind at Walmart this afternoon because I just don't like being around people
Yeah.
because
No, I get it.
they're rude and they're mean and they have zero consideration. Like this happens at work a lot too, man. People have zero consideration for the people around them. Like sometimes when I'm work, I got to get through a crowd and we're moving stuff and it's like, hey, dude, I work here. I need you to get out of my way. We got business to attend to. Move. And they look at me like I'm an asshole. I'm like, dude, you're the one. Like this is clearly a pathway for people who work here. This is clearly a traffic center. This is a pathway that you don't need to be blocking. What if there was a freaking emergency or a fire? We'd have to knock all you fucking idiots down to get to where we need to go to help people. And it's like, how dare you tell me to get out of the way? Because you're in the world's way, not just mine. You're in the way of the entire fucking world.
Right.
You're thinking I'm the jerk when you're the one being a jerk. And that's why I just stay at home because it's just like look, I go out and I find myself in a situation like you were in. It's like, okay, I can handle this in two ways. I can just mind my business, bite my tongue, be the bigger man, or and try to have this turn into some sort of confrontation. I generally prefer non-confrontation if I can help it. And what people wonder why I go from quiet to super pissed. Like that's because if I find myself forced to make a decision and be confrontational, I'm not only mad about the situation or upset about the situation, I'm now super pissed. I have to be confrontational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, the fact that I have to now have a confrontation pisses me off 10 times more than whatever it is you were doing. And now I'm super mad.
Yeah.
So I go straight to maniac.
No, I get it, man. It's I've just gotten to the point where I let so much go because I'm 44 years old and I can't and I won't. And
Dude, I'm right there with you, man.
I want to do the things that I love to do with the women that I date and go out and have good food and good times and enjoy things that are in my surrounding environment. But mostly it's time spent at home that I have the best time because I'm safe, I'm in a controlled environment, and that's the greatest feeling I think about going out is that chance, is that adventure, that scary feeling of having to what could happen, and most of the time nothing stupid crazy happens except mostly fun times. And then you get home and you're in that safe environment and now you can be yourself and sit around in your underwear or whatever it is you'd like to sit around on. um, so, so yeah, man, it's I don't know, man. I feel what you're saying as far as it's almost that misanthropic or misanthropic feeling of you don't want to start hating people, but the more you're around them all the time, especially in retail, you see the ugliness of the human side when it comes to money and all of that crap. So
Are you still working for Guitar Center or
no, no, I left him many moons ago, but I've been in management for about 20 years, and I just recently stopped, and now working with my dad's company. So it's just about four of us working there and a dog. So that makes things wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Other than
yeah, man.
that, I've been just writing, music, short stories, things like that, and keeping myself busy as much as I can.
I need to keep myself less busy. I can't I honestly am considering having myself checked for like I don't even believe in ADD or ADHD. Um, but I am considering having myself tested, man, because and especially with some of my health stuff in the recent history. Um, I don't know if you know this, but like I guess according to my doctors, about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, apparently I had a mini stroke,
Yeah.
and and uh, and I'm just now starting to notice little things going on with me, you know, mentally. And most of them are extremely minor. And I was at my neurologist today, and we were discussing things, and he's like, you're probably gonna be fine. Don't sweat it. Just keep tabs on what's going on. But anyway, there are certain things that go on, and I've noticed like my ability to, because I've always been a hyper frantic kind of guy, but I used to be able to rein myself in, like, okay, Carl, boom, and get focused and really zero in on whatever my task was. But now I find it much harder, man. I find it so much harder to stay on one thing. It's like I will literally be at my house and I'll start a project. Like, okay, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to work on this project. And in the middle of starting that project, my brain goes, "Oh, don't forget about that thing you were supposed to do on that other thing." And so I stop the project I'm starting and then go start on another project that I'd already stopped. And I do that a lot, like bad. And I'll do that 3 times in a day. Like the 3, 4 times before I settle on one thing to do, and it's like it's getting so much good.
Well,
So
a lot of that, and I think that a lot of us go through that, especially people who are creative, um, in whatever it is. We're constantly thinking. We're constantly whatever. The issue that I have is that the job that I work now requires me to get up at 5 a.m. So when I try to go to sleep at a what would be considered a decent hour for that early of a morning, that's
your
when
brain just won't stop.
crazy, man. That's when my mind is like, oh, dude, you got to do this, man. You got this idea and da da da. You should write it down. And so I think we become overwhelmed because we want to do so much, and yet we don't feel like there's enough time in the day. So what I try to do is schedule myself to write, say, I need to write for the next 2 hours, and don't force it, but just even if you write 20 words or if you write 1,000 words in those 2 hours, you're doing something, you're accomplishing something, and so it helps keep me motivated to continue to do that. And so I try to incorporate that. It's still hard because my mind just boom, like I'm always thinking about something better that I could do. You know what I mean? So
I sure do.
that's where I stand. I've got to get off here because that 5 o'clock thing comes early. But man,
Yeah,
it's
no doubt.
actually been fantastic talking to you on the, being live and chatting back and forth about ideas and where we are in our life. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that think the same way
Oh
and
God, yes.
and feel the same
I'm
way and are afraid to come about and say, hey, guess what? We live in a society where being single is more successful than being married only because there's so much money lost in those marriages and having those kids and everything you've got to do, and people become miserable. And so everybody's like, I don't want to do it. I want to stay single. I don't want to, commit to anything that's going to cost me monetarily in my life because I'm already in debt with my soul and credit cards and school and whatever debts that are out there that you have. So you got to make you number one first. You have to make yourself first. Even if you have kids, you still have to live.
yeah, yeah, dude, and yeah, I know. Trust me, man. I trust me. I know all about that. I always put myself last in a lot of situations, and it's coming back to haunt me right now. So,
Yep.
so anyway, Brian, I'll let you get to sleep, man. I'm gonna see what Tony's talking about, and like I said, we're gonna hook up soon. And we're gonna like work on this show thing. Maybe that'd be perfect. Like I said, you got the perfect personality for it, and you're out, and I'm gonna try to get my ass out. So yeah, we can make something work. We'll get together and talk, though, Brian.
We can do that, brother.
All right, man. We'll see you later.
It's good talking to you. Love you, man.
Love you too, man. See ya.
See you.
Bye. All right, how do we get Tony on here? Tony, are you still on here? Tony, did you leave? You son of a bitch. That's what he gets for being late. Mr. Talk about me being late, son of a bitch. Last week. Carl's always late. Motherfucker not even on here at like 10:30. Doesn't show up to like 11:15 when I'm already on talking to Brian. Screw Tony. But hell, man, if Tony's not around to chat, if nobody wants to chat, I think I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. I am a little behind on some work I got to get caught up on anyway, so we're going to do the Carl Talk Shit show tonight. And next week, Tony will hopefully be back. And maybe next week, I'll have finally gotten that software up to date and everything working, and maybe we can invite more than one person at a time. Maybe we have 2 or 3 you people on, and we can all talk about the topics of the day. And I'm working on a new show that's going to be more serious, and it's going to focus more on politics and more topics of the day type situations, like, you know, not necessarily politics, but stories we see in the news. It's going to on the like top stories of the day, and it's going to be a more serious. It's not going to be completely serious, but it's going to be a more serious atmosphere, a more serious dynamic. So I'm going to do that. Folks, thanks for watching. Denise, thanks for hanging around. Steven, Tony, for your 10 minutes that you were on. Amy and all you other guys that joined on. Brian, of course. And don't forget, man, share the video. Let other people know to come on and watch us idiots talk about weird stuff. And it's tons of fun. So we'll see you all around, and good night.